Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning. I'm in a location I've been to before. I am up on the top of the big reservoir, name up in the top there, at Elan Valley, however you want to pronounce it. Water levels are drastically low, really low, but I think that's going to lend itself to an interesting composition because I took a photograph from this location year before last, nearly 2 years ago, and the water levels were really high. We had some nice golden colours in the morning, nice oranges and pinks. Now the sun's coming up over that way, as you can probably see. You can probably tell by the way the light is over there, but the clouds are getting thicker and thicker as I speak, as I've walked up here. I mean, it could even rain. I've got my coat in case, just in case. I'm just hoping to get some morning colour. A little bit would be nice. So I've got this beautiful leading line of the river, leads you all the way down in the valley, and over this side, which you can't see at the moment, you've got the massive reservoir, but the water levels are low. But what I think it's going to lend me is when I go back down, once the light's risen, you can see the leading lines and the lines of all the different levels of water grades. So I'm going to try a couple of shots like that, but first of all, I'm just going to hone myself in here. I've got some rocks, I've got grasses, and all that sort of stuff to add to a composition, make it up. There's a farm down there which I don't particularly want in, so I'm going to move myself in a position where a lower rock will probably hide that the view of the farm, so it looks a little bit more natural, even though we've got a road leading through and a car park. Yeah, that's the plan. I think the more I look at that colour over in that corner, the less it's looking likely. But you only need that little tiny window on the horizon to let a little bit of light through, and it only got to be for a few seconds if the camera's ready. So what are we on for time? We should be good. We should be okay. Yeah, we got good 20 minutes maybe before the sun rises, so any time now it's going to start showing some colours. So I'll get the camera off, be back and get it set up and just have a look at a couple of rocks and just see if I can make it work, really. Let's see if we can make probably a similar shot to what I got last time, but it doesn't matter, I'm out. Look, and I've got the hat on, it just goes to show it's getting cooler. Whew. And the gloves have got to go on as well. So I'm just about to roll off a pano at the moment, and I've got my tripod nice and level, and I'm doing a vertical pano just because I want it to be just this narrow strip in the middle. I'm still bracketing. I've got some nice morning colour, but not colour, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? I hope you know what I mean. It's sort of like that nice pastel calm feeling. I've moved up the bank just slightly, probably 20-30 feet, and I've got a little bit more of a flatter rock section and a nice little rock that I can stand on to do a selfie in a moment. But what I wanted to try and do was to just pull in the reservoir, the dam and the river going down. Like I said, there's no particular anything going on in the sky. It really is very flat. There's no particular point that you're going to look at and go, oh, look at that colour. There isn't any. The sun's up any moment. In fact, it's probably just over the horizon now, but we've obviously got hills to contend with. The clouds are moving, they're coming across the sky quite nicely, so there might be a possibility that we catch something. You only need that small gap to let a bit of light through. Now, I'm in no rush to go anywhere. I'm all on my own. I'm all on my own, and I'm just going to take one single shot with my hand in it again. I keep forgetting to do this, but it just tells me where the start and the stop of the pano is. So if you take one shot with your hand in this way and one shot with your hand in this way, when you look at them on your catalogue, you'll see that the ones in between, they're supposed to be a pano. Same as if you go up and down. If you do an up and down pano, put your hand in the bottom and the top. That way you can see it's a vertical pano. There's a tiny little glimpse of light down there in the distance, but I really don't think it's going to happen at all. I do think I need to go and get my selfie though, so bear with me 1 second. I'm shooting at f14 as well, which is a bit different for me, but I'm just going to see if I get a little bit more depth out of the images. It's one of those where I don't pixel peep, and I normally shoot at f8, f11 because that's got to be the best, the sharpest. But if f14 does work, then I'll try it. But this is at f14 anyway. 10-second timer is going to go on. I'm just going to go and climb on top of that rock without falling, and just stand there and pose. I think hands in pockets because it shows it's a bit chilly, and I'm just going to look down into the sunrise, and we ain't getting one. So without falling on my bum, climb on my rock, do my pose, stands very still, because if it's a slightly long exposure for any length of a time, I need to be dead still, and I'm sure that's done. You've got a countdown in your head, but it's not very easy when I'm talking. That'll do us. And I can actually see a little bit of colour coming back up as well, so I'm going to concentrate on my compositions and get this XT4 lined up exactly where we want it. There is a little bit of colour going on, so a tiny little bit, so fingers crossed. I've had a little bit of a run round this morning, just basically taking photographs. You saw me set up my panoramic, and I put the camera on to run a time lapse, watching the light come up, because surprising as surprise may be, we did get some colour. Started off with a faint glow, and I thought, this is interesting. I took a photo on my phone, a close-in photo, so you could see what was actually going on. Because I've got the wide angle lens, so I couldn't get in close enough just to capture that bit of light, but I've got a little bit of light leading in the background, you know, just nice little glow going on. And I kept taking images one after the other, just because the glow changes and you don't know if it's going to change for the better or for the worse, so just keep taking them images as you work through. And I actually feel my face going a bit cold. I've got a problem with my tooth, but I'm ended up settled now on another composition facing back towards the reservoir. The sun has come up. I've got a little bit of a star glow, which is quite nice. I do like a little sun star. I don't know if it's your taste or not. Do you like the sun stars or do you not like sun stars? Because it's not real. It's almost a fake, because you're faking it in the camera. Your eyes don't really see the sun star. Occasionally I do get a little bit of a glimpse because of my glasses, but your eyes don't see it. So is it almost a fake? Does it look real in an image, or is it just faking the image? Would you prefer not to see the sun star? Because ideally I should shoot it with and without, because then I've got the balance, but I get so fixed on having it on f22 trying to get that star that I forget that, hang on a minute, I might like it without, and I forget to take both the images, and I think that's part and parcel of the, you know, the rushing really. Now there is a little bit of colour on the clouds up there, the lights in between. There's some nice little light rays going on over there as well. The sun's definitely risen. You've seen that in the time lapse. So now I've got the reservoir, the dam, sorry, which is holding back the reservoir, and the dam's massive. It is a huge dam. This is the one that was in Top Gear. Top Gear done a film down at Elan Valley, and they actually drove, I think it was a Land Rover, they drove it down the centre of this reservoir, and that's pretty awesome. It's Richard Hammond. He was in the car at the time, and it was pretty fantastic to see that, especially because I know this place and I know how high that is and how steep the gradient is. But I've got that on the right hand side. I've got the little bit of texture going on in the clouds above, and then I've got like a retaining wall to this side. I don't know whether you can just see it. It's possibly just there. There's like a little retaining wall, which is also part of the dam. Obviously, when this was built, this was obviously retaining this cliff to stop it sliding down. And I've got like almost like a V going out, but it's sort of, the V's holding back the water, if you like. and yeah, I like it. I like the fact that you can see the shoreline in it as well, and it's giving you them stripes in the image, which is pretty cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get Mrs. C back down here, maybe December time, something like that, end of November, December, and I'm going to try and bring the bikes down. And there's a track that leads all the way down the far side of the reservoir. You can carry on going up the track, and it's about 9 miles, and it brings you to some little tarns, some little lakes. So I think I'd like to do that, and you can cycle around these reservoirs, which is really, you know, quite cool. There's quite a few cycle tracks, so I think I'm going to do that. Bring the bikes down, put a camera in my bag like I normally do when I'm on the bike, and go off with a ride and see how far up the reservoir we can get. And there'll probably be a bit more water back in it by then, but you never do know. You never do know. I'm just going to carry on shooting this scene for now. I'm going to sort of, before I do leave, I think I'm going to walk up to the little crag at the top there just to see what the views, if it's any different. Because if I'm ever back here again, because I do like coming here, you get a nice kip in the van. And Elan Valley is just a stunning place in general, just basically to be, really. It's so beautiful, even in any conditions. There's a lot of felling going on by the looks of it at the moment. I can see that there's trees being cut down everywhere, and they're obviously making space for new growth, or they're taking back, you know, whatever it is it dieback or something, you know, they're taking back some of the places that need taking back. And I've seen some amazing wood carvings. Whoever done them wood carvings, salute you, sir or lady, madam. So just salute person because they are amazing. And if I remember to do this, I'm gonna, obviously because I'm saying it now to remind me, I've got them on my phone, so I'll just bop them up on the side of the screen there, the images of the wood carvings, because I've never really seen anything like it. They're really good, and the fact that they've been done probably with a chainsaw, it's just mind-blowing. It really is mind-blowing. I'm fluffing around with my gloves. I've got my Valerets on. Look, the Valerets, first time 2022, they are on. You cannot beat these gloves. I got these last year, and these are fantastic. I can't remember what they're called. I'll put the link on the screen for you to tell you what they are. Markov, I think they are, something like that. Markov gloves. Absolutely amazing. Your fingers come off so you can actually use your camera, and these ones have actually got 3 fingers that you can get out, and they're brilliant, absolutely brilliant. They're just a soft fleece, so there's no weight to them, there's no restriction. You've got this nice rubber pad on the inside of them as well, with a pretty landscape picture. And in the back of the cuff there, I'm not going to pull it out, but in the back of the cuff there is actually a waterproof cover that you can put over the top of your gloves if it rains and gets wet. So absolutely love these, and I have got some more gloves coming in January, depending on when you see this video. They've got a new pair of gloves coming, and I will be getting a pair, one of the first people to get some, so I'll be showing you them. I love the Valerets, they're really good. There's a nice little plug for you. Yeah, so the XT4 is well and truly done. You probably saw in the time lapse as well that I run around a little bit. Once the light comes out, I start to think, can I get a better position? Can I get a better position? So what I was trying to do is I moved forward a little bit to try and get a slightly better lower line to get the water flowing in a little bit more, rather than it being direct. I wanted to try and get a flow. Wasn't quite in position, and then I thought, well, I'd like to get the dam in as well. So I took another couple of panoramics, vertical ones as well. The horizontal ones, sorry, sideways horizontal pano, so I can stitch 2 or 3 together just to try and get a bit of colour and the dam in. So I messed around with that, all at f14, and when the Sunstar come up I was doing it f22. Just trying to fill you with information now, really, is what I was trying to do. I didn't film it because I was running the time lapse, but again, it's a bit headless chicken like. When that comes up, when the light starts to happen, you start to think, oh, I don't want to miss this, this is a good opportunity. So, you know, when can I get that best bit of light? Then I moved over this side because I like, you know, I wanted to get this, the dam, because the dam is really why I'm here. Some lovely little light rays going on over there. But yeah, I'm going to start up stalking or talking, probably stalking. And yeah, thank you for watching so far. I'm going to get a quick shot of this quick shot of these light rays because they're pretty awesome. And I think if I can get them in, let's zoom right in, get a bit of water, a little bit of a leading line from the bottom corner, focus over in the distance, get a little picture of the light rays. And this is what I'm like. Don't get too hung up on your images. Memory card 1's full now. See, that's what I was doing. I was messing around with my cards. So I've got to go and get my other memory cards and put them in. I've got to be back. I'll be back. Alright, memory card 1's gone in. See, that's what I was doing before. That's what I was going to say to you. I had to mess around a little bit because my memory card run out. So I had to run over and get my memory card 2 full up. And then I thought, well, hang on a minute, memory card 1 can't be far off. So I put my memory card 2 in. And now then, look, see, memory card 1 was full up 2 of 3 images after. So you think I'd learn, would you? Really? I'm just getting some shafts of light over in the back there, which is quite cool. So I'm just taking pictures. I just love to keep clicking that button, and it makes it so hard to edit. So yeah, I obviously run back to change my memory card. Then when I got back and I moved over this side, then my battery was running low, so I had to run back to my bag and get my battery out and change my battery. So yeah, it's all going on when the light's going on. It's just typical. If you're interested, I keep my memory cards in this. Another little bit of a plug. This is called a B-Way. I'll put a link to this in my description for you. Basically, it holds a full set of memory cards. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I've got 12 memory cards in there. Normal SD cards, and it'll also take micro SD cards, which is obviously I use for my drone and my Osmo. And I've also used them in the camera as well. The micro SD card in an adapter inside if I need to. So yeah, I keep them in here. This is waterproof, almost bomb-proof. You can drive over this and it is solid. It just means that if my bag ever ends up in water, my memory cards are safe inside this. And if you go on a holiday, it's recommended to have lots of them, which is this is why this is full up. When I went to the Faroe Islands, I changed my memory cards every day. So I've got 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 and 2. That's 6 days worth in there that I can change and have every day on a separate set of memory cards. So if you ever do lose your camera in the sea, you've got yesterday's, if you know what I mean. So it's a drastic loss, but you still got your images from the day before. You could carry 2 of these maybe and have half a day, depending whether you're shooting sunrise, sunset. You could have half a day in smaller memory cards maybe. I use between a 64 and a 128. The 128s are normally in there, but I try not to fill them up like I've just done. But I always take my images off regularly, just in case you lose them. Don't ever take a full memory card, because if you have an incident, I mean, I'm lucky I've got 2 memory cards in the X-T4, so the Fuji has 2, and which means if one corrupts, I've still got a backup on the other one, which is why I shoot with 2 memory cards. And again, I've done weddings as well, and you always got that duplicate going on if you need it to be. If anything happens, it's there in front of you, and you've got all the relative information. And you can see as I go quiet as I'm changing my composition, just because I've got some light rays going on. It might make a nice image, it might not, I don't know. I'd like a little bit of light now. I'm just going to sort of hang around, see if I can get a little bit of light on the reservoir, or maybe on the tops of these hills, and then I'm going to end it and finish it. This has been long enough. I have rambled and rambled and rambled. My face is aching a little bit. I'm going to have now a cup of coffee, thanks to another plug. I've got a little coffee cup. Let's go and get it for you and show you. This is video of plugs today. Let's just put that away, zip me bag up, get me coffee out, and I'm coming back. This is my new favourite little coffee cup for using when I'm on short walks. Look at them light rays. This is from Mimes Reusable. This is the Freedom cup, and it holds the perfect cup of coffee. Take the lid off. It's very stylish with its leather cap. You want to treat someone for Christmas, get them one of these. Mimes Reusable, I think it's .co.uk, I think it is, possibly .com. Go and have a look, it's well worth it. Holds the perfect cup of coffee, 350 mils. There you go. So that's Valoret's Mimes Reusable coffee cups, the X-T4, and my memory card slot. Can't beat that, can you? What a morning this has been. Right, I'm off. Ciao for now, thanks for watching. Please leave us a comment, let me know what you think. how you think it, what you're thinking. And yeah, I'm looking for a hook now to hook my coffee cup on, like so. And yeah, I'm on my own, so I'm rambling to you. I'm ever so sorry about that. So yeah, enjoy the images. If I've got any left, I'll pop them up for you now. And I've got the sheep just coming to join me. And I basically, let me just say this. I'm sorry, but when I'm talking to you guys, if you stuck it out, if you're a regular follower, you know what I'm like. If you're new and you've managed to sit through this waffle, I talk to you like whatever's going in my head. I've just turned and seen the sheep, so in my back of my head I've heard sheep. So I've told you I've got sheep. When I'm walking, looking down there, and I've got, oh, light rays, I'm talking to you, light rays. When I'm looking down in rocks, I'm talking to you, I try and speak and say what goes on in my head instantly. Like, I've just flicked my eye over there and I've seen a little bit of light. You know, so my mind's constantly going, it's ticking all the time. And as I see something, I just basically want to relay it back to you guys, so you can feel what I'm feeling or think what I'm thinking, if you know what I mean, even though it's a load of jumble normally. I just trying to relay back my thoughts. Hope you don't mind. Ciao for now. I am definitely going. I'm ever so sorry for waffling. Bye bye. See you soon.